Good evening and welcome to our 10th grade open house. I am Miss Annie Hassler, one of the high school counselors, and we are joined tonight by a group of our 10th grade teachers and a few members of our student support staff. I'd like to start by thanking those of you who joined us or who are watching the recording of our event. We are so used to having open houses in person, so we appreciate everybody's flexibility as we continue to navigate the pandemic and operate from a place of virtual learning. Many of our 10th graders had a very successful school year last year despite switching to virtual learning. And our goal for this evening is to have their current teachers introduce themselves and provide information on how we are continuing to support and encourage our students throughout this school year. So I'd like to start with a video highlighting some key components of YWCP education and the YWCP way.
Young Women's College Prep Charter School is Rochester's only all-girls public school. It opened its doors in 2012 and today educates more than 350 girls in grades 7 through 12.
Why YWCP? Because YWCP offers a safe, supportive learning environment for girls like me to develop our strengths and find our voice.
With smaller class sizes and dedicated, caring teachers, students at YWCP gain confidence and feel comfortable speaking up in class and taking on leadership roles. YWCP offers all of the advantages of an all-girls school combined with a rigorous curriculum and academic support that encourages girls to take on the challenge of accelerated classes. And YWCP gives every student a laptop to help her develop digital literacy and 21st century skills.
Why YWCP? Because YWCP's college prep curriculum helps girls like me build critical thinking and study skills, tools that'll carry me into college and beyond.
Our comprehensive college planning program includes at least 2 college visits every year and 2 dedicated college counselors who work with each student and her parents to guide them through the college application and financial aid process. In 2018, the school's first graduating class celebrated a 96% graduation rate, with 100% of graduates being accepted to college. Today, there are YWCP alumni on the campuses of more than a dozen colleges and universities, including RIT, St. John Fisher College, Nazareth College, the University of Buffalo, and Monroe Community College.
Why YWCP? Because YWCP offers opportunities for girls like me to participate in clubs and athletics.
With over 15 clubs and 18 sports teams at the modified, JV, and varsity level, there's something for everyone. Our experienced advisors and coaches ensure that each student develops her talents and feels like they're an important part of the team.
Why YWCP? Because at YWCP, there are no limits to what girls like me can achieve.
So as you can see, we've had to temporarily adjust up or postpone some of the activities we offer, such as our sports program and our college visits, but we will get these up and running again as soon as it is safe to do so. And of course, we still operate strongly with some of the other activities such as advisory, and everyone has the access to technology at home now, as you saw referenced in the video. I'd like to start our staff introductions with our administrative team. Of course, our principal is Barbara Zelazny. Ms. Sonia Pelra is our Director of Curriculum and Instruction. And our 2 assistant principals are Crystal Rupp and Mr. Kwame Danko Hansen, who is new to YWCP, most recently coming from School 58. So he has a ton of experience working with high school students and middle school students.
So now I'm going to introduce our instructional coaches. Nicole Sinclair, she's the instructional coach for ELA. Joe Policia, he is the instructional coach for math. And Sarah Turk, she is the instructional coach for social studies and for art and music.
And now to hear from some members of our 10th grade teaching team.
Hi, I'm Mike Pascarella. I teach ELA 2. One tip I would give to your remote learner is to always never be afraid to ask for help. It's so easy to fall behind, especially when we're not together in the classroom. So if you're struggling to complete an assignment and you don't know who to ask an advisor, ask a teacher. Just don't be afraid to reach out.
Hi, I'm Shayna Craig, and I have some of you 10th graders in intermediate algebra this year. You see my contact information on the screen, and I also have a YWCP Instagram account, Miss Craig YWCP. My remote learning tip is to be on top of your grades, be checking them constantly. And if you notice your grade slipping below a 70, I would say, contact your teachers. At that point, it's easy to get caught up. Don't procrastinate on that and see it drop even lower. But make sure that you are on top of that grade because it is what you make of it. We will always help you raise it, but it gets harder and harder as lower as it goes.
Thank you, Ms. Craig.
Hi, I'm Miss Mistrella. I have 10th graders in Algebra 2. My remote learning tip is when you're stuck on an assignment, make sure to go back and watch the recording of the live lesson and view the completed notes.
Hi, I'm Miss Egan. I teach 10th grade in Regents Geometry and in Geometry Concepts. My remote learning tip is you've heard previously by some of the teachers, please reach out for help. I'm free every day, Monday through Thursday, 11:30 to 3:30. And I'm happy to help by setting up a Zoom and getting the ladies caught up.
Hi, I'm Kristen Hallahan. I teach Global 2 and Intro to Communication. My remote learning tip is to create a work schedule and block out times each week you will work on certain class assignments. Cross them off your list, check them off when you complete them, and have patience with yourself, your peers, and your teachers. This remote learning stuff isn't for the faint of heart, and we're doing it. So take a deep breath, ask for help, and be patient with yourself. We're doing it.
Hello, I'm Audrey Schild. I am the Regents Earth Science teacher for the 10th graders. My email is at youngwomenscollegeprep.org and my direct phone number is listed there. You can reach out to me anytime. My remote learning tips for the girls in Earth Science. Keeping up with your assignments. It may seem like there's a lot of assignments in Earth Science, but it is important to actually interact with the material and the content. Also, learn to use your reference tables. Your reference tables are extremely important. And not only that, they're going to teach you skills about how to navigate and use charts and graphs and maps. And those skills go way beyond this class in Earth Science. And you will use those skills in many, many other subjects as well. And also contact me whenever you need help. I am available. I have Zoom sessions Monday and Tuesday from 3 to 4. And whenever you need a separate individual assignment, just email me and I'll be happy to set that up for you. My quote is, "Your education is the key to the future that you want to have. Don't be afraid to reach out for it." Okay, and good luck to all those 10th graders.
Thank you, Ms. Shield.
My name is Evan Dumay. I am one of the PE teachers here at YWCP. We both teach co-ed, or we both co-teach PE for 10th grade. So it's so important that students are present in live lesson. That would be my tip. Be sure that you're there so that you can see the demonstrations, you can see the teacher's instruction, and it's really going to answer a lot of the questions you may have. Additionally, we are all available via Zoom, as many of us have said, and we are easily contacted. So please reach out. Please come towards us. So PE really is kind of fitness based. Our girls do a workout during the hour block of live lesson with an assignment. And the other PE teacher is Erica Delgado. Again, we co-teach for PE 10. She also is the health teacher. She teaches health PE 8, high school PE, high school health, and high school health elective. Her contact information is at Young Women's College Prep, and she has an Instagram page, Delgado_YWCP. Her learning tip would be listen in class. As many questions. Don't just turn on your computer and go ahead. I go step by step, but if you are confused, email me, please. So she said, set a time for learning. It's essential that you own your own learning process, managing your professional growth and development. If you are waiting to be told what to learn, you are not being proactive about your learning.
Thank you, Mr. Dumais.
This is Dr. Baez. He's a Spanish teacher. His remote learning tip is the most significant value intended inside live lesson virtual classroom is not only to view the whole pedagogic stage design as a great teaching resource, but also as an exclusive and a unique learning experience. His quote is—
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're doing a great job though.
Thanks.
This is Okay, so his quote is, to learn a different language is to own the keys for expand your mindset and awareness about the meaning of culture, enhancing your vision and the purpose in your lifetime. And that was Dr. Baez. Ms. Diaz is also a Spanish teacher. Her contact information is listed, her email and her phone number. Her remote learning tip is stay engaged and reach out. Stay connected with your teacher and classmates. Check your email daily to keep up to date on class assignments and any changes or news. Her quote is, knowledge is power. Never miss the opportunity to learn something new.
Thank you, Mr. Fleming.
No problem.
Okay, this is Dr. Deb Heft. She is one of 3 special education teachers, and her focus is mostly in English language arts across the whole school in many different grades. Her remote learning tip is at the beginning of each week, create a schedule of your live lesson classes, PCX assignments, and projects that you need to accomplish. As you submit all of each assignments or projects, check it off and be proud of all that you've accomplished. Dr. Deb is amazing. She's super helpful. And her quote down at the bottom says, education is the foundation in which we build our future.
Thank you. Are you there?
Hello, ladies and families. Welcome. My name is Danny Hoskins, and I am the ESL teacher for YWCP for grades 7 through 12, and I'm also an 11th grade advisor. So my remote learning tip for everyone is to make sure that you guys know your brain. The things that we're doing are completely new to everybody, and there's no right way to it, okay? You need to know your learning style. If it works for you, that's the right way for you. So make sure you stay positive and do what's best for your brain. And my quote is, one day you'll thank yourself for not giving up.
Thank you, Ms. Hoskins.
Student support. This is Miss Davis Bernard. She's the high school counselor, last names M through Z. And this is our lovely host, Miss Hassler, high school counselor A through L. Miss Shepherd is our social worker. Miss Claudette is our school nurse. Miss Larkins works in the GAZ room, and I'm Mr. Fleming. I also work in the GAZ room, where you can come and take a break if you need to talk to somebody, or if you just want to get your head straight before you return to class. Mr. Marshall, he's also GAZ in student support. I didn't know if Miss Bruce was gonna say.
Oh, Miss Bruce, yes. You are welcome to introduce yourself.
All right, so I'm Miss Bruce, and I'm teaching 7th grade career explorations, and I'm teaching art to 7th and 10th graders.
Thank you.
So I'm going to introduce the Office and Technology Support. So we have Kamisha Sanders, she's the secretary. Nicole Welsh, she's also the secretary, and Michelle Frederick, she's the secretary. So these are the lovely ladies that work in our office. And we have Michael Douglas, he's our technology support. Linda Rudolph, she's our business office manager. And Jessica Lindsay, she's the assistant to athletics and principal.
Okay, so thank you all for introducing yourselves and sharing your remote learning tips. I heard a lot of people say that there is a ton of support and help available to students who might be struggling or might just even have a simple question. The most important part is that they are reaching out to their teachers and asking those questions. I know from working with everybody for a long time that this is a staff that is constantly checking their emails and their texts and their Instagrams, and really, really welcomes and encourages questions from students, and they are willing to hop on a Zoom a lot, even into the evening time if a student has a question about a math assignment or any assignment. Everybody is really flexible and willing to assist as long as we know that. So I just wanted to encourage everybody who's listening or watching this recording to really take advantage of this group of teachers who is constantly available to assist you. I am going to turn it over to Mr. Dumais. In addition to being a PE teacher, he is on the tech committee. So he's going to introduce another video that we take a look at before we jump into questions.
All right, so really what we do for the tech committee is we provide support for the teachers and staff. We make videos and we make a lot of instructions so that if there's any troubleshooting that a student might have, we're giving the correct way for those teachers to explain it to the students. So one of the things that we did was a day in the life of a student at YWCP. So here goes the video.
Thank you.
Welcome to a day in the life of a YWCP virtual learner.
So thank you for the tech committee for putting that together. And of course, all of the students were willing to have some family members record them, engaging in some activities at home. I was talking to Miss Zelazny earlier today about this video and just how we love seeing the girls in their home learning environments and, you know, following all the steps that we recommend and some of those tips that you heard a little bit earlier. So at this point, I can see that we have a few people on. I want to open it up to any questions that any students or parents might have. So if you do, you can throw the question in the chat or unmute yourself and ask. At the same time, I'll also share some contact information. Here is our main office phone number and the office hours. So even though school is closed to the majority of our students, the main office has remained open for business. So if you need to do something like change your address or exchange a Chromebook or pick up a new charger, the main office is open Monday through Thursday from 8 to 4:30 and Fridays from 8 to 3. And there's our school website, our Facebook page, and our Instagram account. And we are using the Remind app for updates. So in addition or in place of those robocalls that you might get or some of the mailings that get sent home, we also recommend you sign up for the Remind app. I think we're all very familiar with using our phones for information, and this is a way for us to keep you updated on any relevant health and safety information or any additional information on the school closure. If you download this app, there are the instructions to sign on to the YWCP account. Is there anything any teachers on the Zoom want to add in addition to any tips you shared already? Oh, yes, I see Miss Dennis might have a question. You can go ahead and ask.
Okay, hopefully that's okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, good. Now my daughter, Abigail, is in 10th grade, and we've gone through where initially when she was set up with the new system, she was able to access the information on our home computer as well as on her cell phone. And now the only way she can access the new system is on her own laptop. And all the other devices in the household can no longer get access to her stuff. And she's asked Ms. Diaz about fixing that issue. And she went through tech support for that issue, and it still has not been taken care of. She still has problems logging in different devices. So in case of, you know, I like having a backup for her. So in case if something happens, she can actually access it a different way. You know what I mean? And still get her lessons.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if anybody else has the same problem or if it's something that we need to resolve a different way. I don't know. So that's why I thought I'd ask.
Okay. So it sounds like she's able to get onto Pearson on her Chromebook, but on some of the other devices you have, she's not able to, such as her phone or your computer.
Right, right, exactly.
Okay. So Miss Egan is on the Zoom. She is on the tech committee. She just put a message in the chat saying that the tech committee is sending an email tomorrow with the website for kids or students to be able to access Pearson on any device. So it sounds like this is not a problem that only Abby had. So she and Miss Egan, is that going, that email is going to all students, correct?
Yeah, because I think what's happening is kids are just Google searching Pearson and trying to access using their username and password, and it's being told that it's invalid, but they're not using the specific YWCP Pearson website. So we're sending that email and the link to all kids so they can pull it up on their email and then access Pearson on any device.
Okay, and then eventually, is parents going to have access to their kids' classwork to make sure that they're getting their assignments in? Just like if you had Google Classroom, you were able to access your child's classwork to make sure that everything is up to date. And if something's missing, then I can also go back to her and say, hey, you know, you didn't get this assignment done for this particular class. You know what I mean?
Yes, TechCom is also working on all getting the information out to parents to start accessing that. Us teachers, we're just in the process of finalizing getting our grade book set up. So before parents got in to see the Pearson, we wanted to make sure we were all on the same page, so there were no issues.
Well, that makes sense.
Great in geometry, just so you know.
Oh, perfect. Well, you know, that way we're all on the same page, because I like to make sure I'm in the loop as much as I can be. So, you know, I like to be able to know what's going on and not just relying on what Abby has to tell me, but I can also look it up on my own too. You know?
Absolutely.
Ms. Egan, does tech committee have an idea of when that might be available for parents?
No, I do not have an answer for that. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. We will look out for that, though. Ms. Dennis, I can also email you to make sure that Abby is able to get that information tomorrow and make sure that that works, that she's able to log in on other devices.
Okay, awesome. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Did you have any additional questions?
Oh gosh, no, I think I'm okay. I mean, do you guys have a marking period as to when the marking period ends for the first quarter as of yet?
So we typically, if we were in school and everything was normal, the marking period would be ending pretty soon. But yeah, the decision has been made to extend it a little bit, just because we know that there have been you know, some challenges with students and families getting used to Pearson, because it's such a different system than what we were using last year.
Okay.
So I believe there was a tentative date of, teachers correct me if I'm wrong, December 17th? Someone said it today. I don't know. But yeah, we have decided to extend it. And of course, all that information we try to keep families as updated as possible.
Sure.
with
So
the
basically what you're
mailings.
saying is tentatively it's going to be before the December break for the first quarter to end.
Yes. Yeah.
Tentatively. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's good, because in that way I'm not worried about, because I know she got behind in some of her other classes. So I want to make sure she's got ample time to get stuff done. So if she's got any issues, she can take care of it. And I don't have to feel like, oh my gosh, you have to get this done before Thanksgiving, because the marking period is going to be ending like within, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so as long
absolutely.
as I have a general idea of where it's potentially going to be, that makes it easier on her as well as me. So I don't have to get on her butt.
Right. Yeah, no surprises. We're not going to tell you that it's ending this Friday or anything like that.
Okay, well that's good, because you know, otherwise I'll be like, oh, you're really in trouble.
Well, if how she's doing in geometry is a reflection, I think that we're in a good place.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I know she's trying really hard. It's just that some of, particularly science, that's the tough one. Chemistry is hard, so it takes a lot of time.
It does.
You
And
know?
that's, you know, one of the classes I think that would be more challenging in a virtual environment.
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's not like you could, well, it's harder because you don't have the experiments. Because when I was talking to our science teacher, I'm like, you know, it's not like you can do an experiment and actually show somebody and you're actually doing it to see how the chemistry actually is working.
Yeah,
it's
the hands-on approach.
When you're, you know, virtual, you can't really easily do it.
Yeah.
It's not like math where, okay, you got a problem, you know how to solve it. Okay, this is what you have to do to solve the problem, and then you got it. You know what I mean? It's different. So it's just a little more challenging, that's all. But
yeah,
she'll get through it. I know she can.
Oh, I know she will. I think we all know that she is capable
I don't have any doubt in my mind she can do it.
Yeah. Yeah, so we will keep everyone informed as to the date of the end of the marking period.
Well, I figured you guys would, but you know what? You might as well. If I'm, I don't know, is anybody else asking questions? Because I figured if that's, that's pretty much all I had questions on. You guys answered everything that I needed.
Oh,
And as
good.
long as you guys understand the technology portion of it, of what I'm asking about, then I'm cool. I'm good.
Okay,
You know,
good.
it sounds like to me like you guys are still working things out, and I figured that. So that's why we haven't gotten anything, flyers in the mail about any of that stuff. So that's
Yeah,
fine.
and I think I can speak for everybody when I say we just appreciate everyone's grace and patience, because it is such a good learning system. It's just so different from Google Classroom, what we were using last year. So it takes some time to adjust and, work out the kinks, and then also provide parents the opportunity to create accounts or get on to their child's account.
Right. Because I think that's a huge component. Because in that way, we're also in the loop, so that we're not like looking like we're totally in the dark ourselves. Because I think it's an equal partnership. You need us just as much as we need you.
It's very true.
We're all a team. So if part of the team isn't working, we have to figure out a way to make it work.
Yeah.
It's like everything else.
Yeah. So like I said, I can email you so that you have I'm her counselor. So you have my email. I can be, a contact if you think of any other questions.
Yeah, that's great. Because I think, I think that's pretty much my big concern right now. I did get an email today though about the COVID testing, and I know that, but now they're telling us that even teachers that are teaching remotely as well as students still have to fill out a questionnaire every day. But then I couldn't find the link anymore, so I wasn't sure if it came on Abby's account versus, because we're all intertwined with Google. It's just that I have to access sometimes her stuff on her own account. You know what I mean? It's those little tricks that trade with Google a little bit.
Yeah.
So, where but I don't know if you guys are aware of that, where we have to make sure that they fill out this questionnaire every day before class. Are you
Yeah,
aware
that's
of that?
so I'm aware of it from a staff standpoint. We've been having to do that for quite some time. I did hear that it was opening up to students. I just haven't seen a link or any information on that, but I can also include that in my email to you.
Yeah, because I was just figuring that was something else that came up today, just, before this meeting, that I noticed came up on the email. And I was like, well, I was kind of surprised by that, because you would think if we're doing remote learning, you would probably, if you were COVID positive, you would probably want them to stay home. And they could still do their work. I mean, unless they're really, really sick, that's a different story, of course, but that's a given. But at the same token, the whole purpose of us doing this is to make sure everybody stays as safe as we can. So,
Yeah. So Mr. Dunko Hansen is one of our assistant principals. He is largely spearheading the health and safety and the COVID information. So I'm going to be seeing him tomorrow, and I can ask him for specifics on that.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. Because like I said, those are the only things that I think that at the moment anyway, that I can think of that are out there that I had questions about.
All right.
Well, I'm sorry to take your time up. I apologize.
Oh, no, don't. We're here until 7:30.
Oh, we love questions.
I know. So we're not just staring at each other.
If you don't ask questions, you don't get very far.
Right. Shamaya, I believe I saw you raised your hand. Do you have a question?
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
This is her mom, Laura.
Okay. Hi, Mom.
Hi. I was just wondering with the whole, do the school have any idea on when the students are going to come back to class, or is it looking like towards the end of the school year? Because the number has recently gone up with the whole COVID.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If the school had any.
Yeah, I wish I could tell you that we have a specific date. We just this week started some in-person learning opportunities for some of our students who receive special education services or English support for our, not speakers of other languages. So we were starting with those smaller groups and keeping a line with the social distancing and the mask protocols. And our goal was to start with that group of students and then hopefully expand and invite more students into school if it's safe to do so. And I know you just mentioned that we are seeing increases, and Monroe County is in the yellow territory, so it's hard to say what that's going to mean, and if that means we can keep the in-person learning opportunities and add more students to that list, or if we're going to have to scale back. So, we're just continuing to monitor the situation and then follow the guidance from the Monroe County Department of Health and the New York State, Governor Cuomo's guidance.
Right.
So
I was trying to figure out how would that work with the students being on the bus in the morning. I would think that they would get their temperature checked before getting on the bus. That way, if they are having a fever, they can go home instead of waiting all the way to the child gets to school. Now the parent will have to come from work or wherever to come pick up their child because their child is showing symptoms.
Yeah.
I think it would be better when that time does happen that the temperatures be checked prior to getting on the bus in the morning.
Yeah, because I know for the students who did start this week, as soon as they, or even before they enter the building, they're having their temperatures checked. I can't speak to what RCSD is doing with the busing as far as any possible temperature checks there.
Right. I just don't think it's, I don't think it makes sense to have the child come to school, get tested, and then they say, okay, you have a high fever. That child was just on the bus with other students, with the bus monitor, with the bus driver. It's going to be a domino effect once everything is up and running.
Yeah.
And now you have to try to figure out how the child is going to get back home if they don't catch the bus or if they don't normally catch the city bus or, it's just, I don't know.
I know there's so much to consider and, we want everyone to be safe and healthy. One of the things we did do is expand the nurse's office in order to provide a place for a student who might be experiencing symptoms to kind of quarantine at school until they can go home. But, this is all the stuff that Mr. Donko Hansen has been spending a lot of time reviewing and putting in place. And so if we do move into the opportunity to be able to invite some more students into school, you would be receiving a ton of information prior to that. And you, I believe, would be able to make the best decision for you and your family as to whether Shemaya would continue to do virtual learning or come into school. So I know that for the students who started this week, it was the family's decision as to whether or not they would come into school given everything that's going on. And, once they knew about what protocols were in place for health and safety.
Right.
So if you are not on the Remind app already, that is a really good way to stay connected in addition to, the website and the mailings that go home. I'm sure that we will just continue to share more and more information about COVID and virtual learning and some possible in-person learning opportunities as the year goes on. So I hope that we answered the questions that we've had so far. I think we did. If there are not any more, I think that we can end this meeting. And of course, everybody is available. This presentation will be uploaded on our website. So if you missed any contact information, you'll be able to watch the recording and hopefully just fast forward to the teacher who you need to get in contact with. But if there are not any further questions, I think we can wrap up. I just want to thank you both, Miss Dennis, and then I'm sorry, Shemaiah's mom, I didn't get your last name, but thank you for joining us and asking those good questions. And thank you to our teachers for coming on tonight and introducing yourselves and sharing your remote learning tips. All right, everybody.
Thanks.
Yes, I hope everyone has a good night. Stays warm with this cold front we got.
And the hail.